The best way to predict the future is to create it. A quote from Abraham Lincoln opens today's podcast.
Hi freshmen, this time we are going to dig out more on various career alternatives that you can choose once you are entering university life. Probably some of you would have this thought, wait, what? I'm just getting started and now I have to think about my career choices? Well, let's go back to Abraham Lincoln's quote itself. The quote means that the way we predict our future is by creating it. In other words, if you want to make your career choices in 4 years, then you need to get ready and you need to start now. The sooner, the better, right?
Before we start the session, let me introduce myself first. My name is Indra Kurniawan from Cider Binus at Senayan campus. And in this 20 minutes podcast session, I will guide you to explore more about the career choices that you can take. For your information, Binus University acknowledges 3 career paths for our graduates: working in a global company, being an entrepreneur, or pursuing further study. For this session, we are going to exchange views on one of those, being an entrepreneur. Right now, we have here with us our honorable guest speaker with his inspiring stories that can be an insight for you all who might have planned on being an entrepreneur. Today's podcast guest, Kak Victor Osman, founder and CEO of Dream Action. It's an integrated human capital solutions company empowering people and organizations with advanced information technology, including people analytics and big data. Kak Victor is an alumnus of Binus University. Hello, Kak Victor. It's an honor to have today's talk with you.
Hello. Nice to
How are
talk to
you?
I'm great, amazing. Thanks for having me.
All right. Kak Victor, one of the most asked questions from Binus alumni. What year did you earn your bachelor degree in IS? Isn't it IS, right?
Yep, in IIS.
Yeah.
Actually, if we talk about Binus, I'm a Binusian 2008. So I'm a proud Binusian 2008. But yeah, I can say I'm kind of regret because I graduate not in time. Because I graduated in 2007, too soon. I supposed to stay more longer in Binus and enjoy the Binus environment. So yes, I graduated in 2007, which is supposed to be in 2008.
So it's super fast then.
No, I kind of regret it.
Okay, but we'll talk about it maybe later on. But just out of curiosity, what's keeping out you busy these days?
Currently, I'm an entrepreneur, also a clinical hypnotherapist. But basically, my passion is about people development. So I'm more focusing in the Dream Action, which is my company right now. I'm focusing in the PT Dream Action Technology International, which is we're focusing in integrated human capital solution. So we're helping people. We are committed to make recruitment and assessment better for companies, talents, and academia. And to do this, we use psychometrics and people analytics technology to provide like an integrated human capital solutions for everyone. That's what we do. We're more focusing in the people.
Okay, everything, the big data, the analytics, and trying to integrate it with the human development, human capital purposes. Is it difficult? And I'm just curious, what are the most exciting things on your job right now?
Okay, so if you ask me about is it difficult, it's very complicated, if I can say. That's why we are here to give the solution. If I can share you a bit about my experience. Once I met with Sophia the robot. If you ever heard about Sophia the robot, the first humanoid that received the citizenship from Saudi Arabia. Once I met her and I asked her, hey, Sophia, I thought she's very smart. She's very amazing, because she's an AI. Then I asked her, hey, Sophia, what do you think about people development? And then suddenly she stopped, maybe a bit of lagging. And then a whole room, which is like 1,000 people in the room, we're very quiet. And then she said, I don't know about people development. Then I feel grateful. Then that's a good news for us, which means people development is very complicated and difficult, but we can make it easier. But still, we need the human touch. So for all of you that's still looking for the job, looking for a new career, it's a good news because you won't be replaced by a robot because we have our own mind, our own soul. That's make us different. That's the thing. But like what you said, in terms of big data, AI, and technology, definitely yes. In Dream Action, especially in Dream Talent, you can just browsing www.dreamtalent.id. You'll find a lot of things that we've been implemented from the big data, artificial intelligence, what we call is that data support system to help you make it easier to make a decision, especially about people, the complicated people.
Wow, it sounds very interesting in terms of, well, recently technology is at the heart of our life, right? And then you're jump into it, exploring about what robots can do, the opportunity where the human being can still thrive and excel on that
Yep.
part. It's very interesting, but what makes you think or what makes you start this business then? What is the story behind all of the things that you're doing right now?
Okay, the story behind it's all about the experience, what we've been through, what I've been through. I've been through a very nice experience with HR that time back in 2013, I believe. It's still HR, but now it's more about human capital. I got a good impression about HR from a multinational company, Astra International. That's why my company also based on that name with the big dream to be the multinational company. Thank God, yes, we've been selected as Indonesian minister to represent Indonesia as Indonesian delegates to the biggest trade tech expo in US in 2020. Along the way with Apple, with Netflix, with TikTok, and so on, even with Elon Musk. So last year is Gojek, and 2020 is our year. So then that's the vision to be the international. Come back to the back end story. I'm very happy to have the experience with a good HR, but I also have the experience. I got experience with a very bad HR, which means no integrity, lack of integrity, and so on. That's the first point, good HR. Second point, bad HR. Third point, I got appointed. I have a responsibility to handle the human capital team, the big human capital team in one of the biggest media company in Indonesia. And then by those time, we held the job fair, thousand and thousand of people that come to our job fair. And I saw some of them, they hold their CV, they hold their resume with all the documents, hoping to get a right job for them under the sun, a very, it's not a very nice condition. And back then it's in 2016. I say, this is not I think this is not the right way in this era where we get all the technology, we get the very smartphone in our handheld and so on. Then I'm starting thinking, what about if technology can really help them to make it easier? Okay, I understand. Back in 2016, JobStreet, something like that, is already exists. But then they only gather all the data from the people, but they're not do anything more than that. So HR that time they've become very operational. Like, hey, HR, how about my leave? How many leave that I still have? HR, I would like to propose for my leave and so on and so on. So it's very operational. Why don't we disrupt it into the technology, to the system? Start from that experience, from that moment of time. I believe we can have a better HR process. Like, there is a demand from the company to have the right people, to have the right employee. There is also a demand from the employee, so-called talent, to have the right career, to have the right company where they can explore their skill, their knowledge. So from that point of time, I think this is the right time to start this company. But actually, I'm not directly start the company. I give the proposal to my director because I directly to the director of the company. But then sadly, he said, no, we're not ready for this yet. And then, okay, we don't have a same vision anymore. Then I'll start my own company, Dream Action, so-called.
And that was in 2016.
2016.
2016. So it's been running for 3 years, more than 3 years. Then 2020, you're appointed to represent Indonesia to one of the biggest tech expo in the US,
Yep.
right?
South by Southwest in Austin, Texas.
Oh, right. Okay. So, looking back on your career track, I noticed that you mentioned that you've been working before, and then there's some shift happen, and then you're shifting from being from an employee to being an entrepreneur. So, again, can you explain in a shorter way? What makes you turn and decide to become an entrepreneur? Okay, you mentioned, okay, we don't have the same vision anymore, but I bet it's not that simple. What is what do you call it, the big energy behind that and motivates you? Okay, this is it, I'm starting my own company.
Actually, I was starting my own company before I joined that company.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So after Binus, even before I graduated, I already got accepted in one international company. Back then, I was working with one foreigner, also in Jakarta, before I graduated. Then I've been developing the system for Garuda Indonesia even before I graduated. And then after I graduated, then I know my vision. I would like to have my own company. That's why I took information systems in Binus. I love technology. I used to be in Olympics in computer, in biology, and so on. And then so I really love about technology. But then I realized that I don't want to get deep, but I would like to have some more information. That's why I'm not choosing information science, but instead I choose information systems. By the time I choose information systems, I realized that information system is information technology combined with the business. So that's information systems. That's what I know. So I took information system with one vision. I'm going to work in a multinational company because I would like to learn how to deal with people, how to communicate with people, how to have a big company with a very large amount of people inside of the company. And that's my vision. So after that, I apply to the Sinarmas, Asia Pulp and Paper, which is also a multinational company because they have branches in Canada. Then I work as a SAP analyst, special analyst. Long story short, again, don't have the same vision because it's very boring at that time. I'm very on fire. After we graduated, we were very on fire. Even though we're in the, like we say, the quarter life crisis, we don't want to waste any time. That's why I'm very on fire. I'm keep asking to my boss, hey, what can I do after this? What can I do after this? But there's nothing to do. So frankly speaking, I finished my job and the boss let me just like take a quick nap and so on. It's very boring. Then I decide, okay, I think I need to have some more challenge. Then I go to Singapore. I went to Singapore. I work in Singapore in the dairy farms. But again, I thought working in Singapore is very nice. Great salary, great environments, very clean, so good. But there is no human touch at that time, in my opinion. So I came back to Indonesia. I'm still working in a multinational company. I chose Astra International. And Astra International is teach me a lot from how we develop people, even from the very early stage until how to be as a manager, how to be as a leader. I learned so much from Astra International. And after that, I decided 3 years I'm going to work in Astra International. And yes, I worked for 3 years plus 1 month because 3 years time is on the 1st of April 2013. I submit my resignation letter and they laugh at me because they thought, oh, this is April mob joke, Victor. I know you're not mean it, but that's true. I submit the resignation letter. So at the 1st of May 2013, I start the entrepreneurial journey with the Palace Jewelry. We started from the beginning, opened the new store with the new concept, starting from the new mall in Bekasi area, in Summarecon Mall Bekasi. That's my first store. And from there, things happen. So many things happen. Long story short, I would like to learn something more from one of the prestigious entrepreneur, I can say, Pak Hairul Tanjung, which is on the top Forbes Indonesia. Then I went to his company, one of the biggest company. Then I worked there, simply like that. Again, continue from the journey, like I told you before. Told you guys that we don't have the same vision. Then why don't starting the entrepreneurial journey?
Okay.
So if you ask me why I start this entrepreneurial journey, because that's one of my dream. That's why the name is Dream Action. You can have anything in your mind. You can dream anything, but without action, nothing happen. And in the middle, there is max. To realize your maximum dream, then you have the maximum action. As simple as that. That's one of it
Okay.
in my mind. Yeah.
Awesome. That's very philosophical. And I think it's also useful for our freshmen in Binus University. There are so many things that we can learn from your journey. One more questions I would like to explore a bit more with this question. Considering your journey so far, do you have any idea about the skill set or key attitudes that student may needs to have to become an entrepreneur?
Before I get to that point, I understand some of the listener, maybe they're in their quarter life crisis. They're asking about their lives. They're asking about their true self. They worry about the future. They worry to left behind and so on. That's what we call the quarter life crisis. I've been there. Yeah, I've been there, done that before. That's why what Dream Action would like to have is we would like to have the impact. That's why we have the Dream Talent. So from the Dream Talent, we can assess ourselves, discover ourselves, then it's going to be easier for all of us. Continue to your traits, what we call in the psychology term, in the Dream Talent is traits. Traits mean what it needs to have to be an entrepreneur. I think first of all is guts, for sure. But the most thing that I really suggest for all of you to learn during your university time or any time that you have now is communication. It's very important, communication, because even we are not communicating, we're still communicating actually. So communication is very important. That's the first one. The second one is negotiation skill. So you have to be able to do the negotiation skill, negotiate. And the third one, I think, is a fighting spirit. You really have to have fighting spirit, because as entrepreneur, it's not an easy journey. It's a very hard journey. Even I thought when I started this entrepreneur journey is when I work in that media company, the biggest media company. I used to work like from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. when I was an employee. Then I thought, oh no, time is very limited. I just had a kids. Then I would like to spend some more time with him. But again, I get into the entrepreneur journey. It's not getting easier. It's getting tougher, because it's like 24 hours of working from 8 a.m. till 4 a.m., 4 hours sleep and so on. That's why you really have to have that fighting spirit. And the most important thing is in integrity. Because without integrity, there's going to be no one would like to have a business with you. And on top of that, mental attitude. You really have to take care of your mentality. Lucky me, I mastered about neuro-linguistic programming, clinical hypnotherapist, emotional freedom technique, and so on to help myself at first. Because I used to be bullied. I used to be so many things, not the good things, but from that I transform, and I can share with others, and it really helps for all of us. Communication, negotiation, fighting spirit, integrity, and mental attitudes. And please make sure that you really have the values in your life. For me, I have the CITA values, CITA. That's also the culture values in my company. C is compassion, I is impact, T is trust, and A is amazing. You have to be able to do the extra mile, growth mindset, and so on. You can find out in our website. That's the abbreviation is CITA. CITA is in Indonesia is dream, right? Cita-cita.
Yeah.
So that's the most important thing, I think.
All right. So maybe just one more advice for our our freshmen here, our listeners, everything that you've mentioned is basically unrelated with specific major. Well, communications, we do have communications, but other than that, it's basically pretty much unrelated. Any major, students from any major can sharpen their skill set that you've mentioned before. So my final question here is, what is your suggestion for our freshmen in order to refine those skill sets during their university life? Do you have any suggestions for them? What should they take or what should they do during the next 4 years, so that after that 4 years, then pretty much they're maybe not like you per se, but pretty much has the same preparation like you.
Okay. I believe all the freshmen that listen to this can do a lot much more better than me. I believe that
Yeah.
with all the help of the technology, Indra. But okay, what I can say, my recommendation is like my favorite brand. Just do it. So just do it. No regret. Especially you can join all the international exposure through the technology. You can connect with a lot of people. Get into the organization, take the lead, take any kind of part, learn how to deal with people, learn how to communicate, how to negotiate. And remember, some of the people, maybe you know as well, YOLO, you only live once. I don't believe in that. No, it's a big thing for me. What I believe is, in this lifetime, you only die once, but you live every day. Hey, so maximize your potential. One of the most memorable movie that I remember until now is from Robin Williams movie that I really always keep in mind. He said carpe diem. Carpe diem means seize the day. Seize the day. So maximize what you can do today, and you don't have to wait until tomorrow. Focus in today. No need to worry about tomorrow. No need to worry about the future. No need to worry what's gonna happen. Focus in today and seize the day. And dream action. Have a bigger dream. It's free to have a dream, but again, you still have to have a taking action to make it come true. To have a maximum action to realize your dream into the maximum capacity as it can be, and be amazing. That's from me, Indra.
Okay, thank you very much, Kak Victor. All right, then, well, there you have it. Tips from Kak Victor to all of you aspiring entrepreneurs. We hope that those who are on their way carving out your career path as an entrepreneur could find this podcast session to be useful and informative. Most importantly, we hope you would feel more inspired and motivated. Just remember to keep an open mind towards every available options in front of you. Thank you so much for such an inspiring session today, Kak Victor. Just like what Lincoln said, hopefully this session could be a good start for our freshmen to create a greater future.
And of course, we thank all freshmen who have listened to this podcast session. Don't forget, we still have 2 other podcast series about exploring your career in a global company or global study. So make sure you don't miss it, everyone. Stay healthy, stay motivated, and excited in experiencing the whole activities in the first year program. Keep in mind that FYP Begin Happy. I'm Indra. Have a nice day.